let's see. Do you see anything on your end? Okay, I say that I see that I have 0 viewers and no chat rates at the moment. Can you hear me, or is this texting necessary? Let's see, I'm still trying to figure out how to turn the comments section back on. Stats? No. Ah, okay, here it is. Finally got it open. Not quite how I wanted. Ah, but never mind. Alright, can you at least see the full picture? This right here. Docs. Let's see docs one more time. Oh, wrong button again. This definitely takes some getting used to. But I suppose it's like field stripping a weapon. Repetition, repetition. Eh. Let's see, there was no smart alecky thing that happened before the main menu, so I guess we just begin the game. The end is never, the end is never, the end never is the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for...
Alright, I'm 427. Around.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The new content. new. What do we got?
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Oh, dear. See, whenever I tell you, Veyron, that I've got a new idea, it's nothing to dread. But this guy, whoever's talking, he definitely has something. He's up to something. Talk about a cluttering mess, but everyone's got mugs out. Locking the door using the janitor's bucket. Oh, hey, I don't know if you've ever done any janitorial work over in Britain, but do you guys have the exact same kind of bucket as we do? Curious.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Not very original. Big white letters with a red number. Seems to be very common, but don't get me wrong, I do like the style. Although, if this game is supposed to be a re-release of the original, did he talk like this in the original? Although, the newer computers are nice. Far more up to date. Never the end. Oh, okay, so that's how you say it. The end is never the end. Again. So this will be like,
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Wait, he did, so he talked about the first game as if it was a sequel, as if it was a sequel, even though it was not a sequel? Weird. Tba, twee, do, Dowd, Zway, Dos. Wait a minute. So it must be the German one, Zwei. See, how do they go? How do they say it, those two guys? Ein Schwein. Takes the sequel. Taking out squat. Still can't jump though. I love how meta this whole thing is. However, it'll age badly, or alternatively, it'll be looked at as a piece of nostalgia, because the software will eventually be replaced. Ein Schwein. Oh, Veyron, by the way, you should take a moment to hit the like button on my other videos. I noticed other videos that you've been watching didn't get the like button pressed. This guy is obsessed with 2. 2 doors. Cut it out. How about The Revenge of Stanley? Or Stanley 2, The Reckoning? Nice television set. Which style do you like more? This definitely looks like a horror version. This looks like a family comedy. This one looks like a romance film style. The second one from the top looks like action film. And, well, the top one could be anything. Two Stanleys, except the other guy doesn't even have a computer. He's just staring at the wall.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
That's not true at all, I'm afraid. The woke crap we've been having for games lately has been doing that exact thing. We come up with an invincible girl boss bitch who is untouchable and super powerful and cannot ever be wrong, and then they write the movie around her. And the result is just a story that nobody's interested in. Which Doom 2 are you talking about, I wonder? And Return of Jafar. Man, I only saw that once. It was on VHS. I borrowed it from the library. Well, my sister borrowed it from the library. Batman Arkham Asylum 2. I think that one's got Jonathan Banks on it. Love that actor. Creepily dark hallway. New features. I can totally hear a jingle playing. Feelings. Wait, you actually brought the bus in here? Do you have any idea what kind of a big health code violation that is? Seen that aesthetic before, but I don't remember where.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Insurance bucket. Best new feature. Decisions. Oh, is that what his face looks like? Nice to finally see his face. I don't see any button. Actually get the bucket. Oh boy. so it's going to try to run away or something.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
I'm getting a sense of deja vu. Wasn't this a video you had me watch? Music or something?
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Let's see.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Please no screenshots, or I get the feeling if I go through those doors, they'll close behind me. I can't risk that. Wow. Stanley really is the... Oh, it's spinning. Didn't look like it was spinning at first. Hardy har har, Veron. Make sure I don't kick the bucket. Yeah. Okay, that looks like a one-way trip. Better go the other side first. Of course. I know you completely lack the ability to
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Oh, man, come on. Still can't jump. Achievement. But wait, you said the collectible was not a one-way trip. No, you didn't. You didn't give me that warning.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
That was not a nice thing to say. Statuette of myself. I see. Wow. Can you find them? Can you find them?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
No, the only time a reward is not worth it is when it turns out to be clothing. Or worse, clothing you can buy at the store. So may I ask what would happen if I did not use up all my jumps? And no, you did not warn me yesterday when I did those jumps.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
This looks like that Doctor Who robot thingy that you said was not a robot.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Oh well, I knew it was too much to hope for.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
So if I didn't use all my jumps and I did it a little bit here, would I permanently gain the ability to jump? It seems to me that the only way to truly start a game over is to delete all of the cloud saves of this game. Erase it from Steam's memory and start over. It's too bad Fable 1 doesn't have that, where the use key can stand in for the left mouse button. I must have destroyed 2, maybe 3 mice.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, whenever you fish, go fishing in the game, you have to left click over and over again to reel the fish in. Alright, let's see my name.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, I guess they're not buttons. Alright, let's see what this thing says.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Yeah, no. I've already lost myself enough for... oh dear. I'm stumbling over my words. I had to drink of water. Hold on. I'm already Myron as Rick, playing as Stanley. So, yeah. Got me way out of here. No. Damn. Looks like I have to.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
I think I'd rather go for another jump scare.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Yeah, that sounds dirty. But anyway, speaking of money, yeah, I hope that somebody else jumps on and watches this live stream as well. Otherwise it'd be a waste of a good Saturday.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
See, exactly. That's what I told you, Veyron, all those years ago. The real reason why parents were scared of Dungeons and Dragons and other role-playing games is because their kids would often lose track of who they really are, of who they really were. I didn't understand that fear myself until I played Mass Effect 1 for the first time in my life.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Okay, I'm right back to where I started. Where should I go? Alright, it's over here. Okay, exit that way. Let's see over here. If the exit's that E over there. And the epilogue should be somewhere right here.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Remember how I told you that Skyrim puts me to sleep? Well, this game's trying to put me to sleep as well. This long, empty, the emptiness. It both scares me and comforts me.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, this one wasn't here before.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes. Yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
What's this? Definitely has a horror video game look to it now. Like maybe there's a ghost, a killer ghost walking around the area that I have to dodge.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where...
Well, looks like I'm back.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed him. Stanley picked up the bucket.
Nice. So this is why you told me to bring the bucket with me, so that it would be a permanent feature to the rest of the office.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
I can feel the bucket telling me to kick it. Oh no.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
You know, it's too bad you don't like watching the videos I send you, because they include humor that's just like this.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. All right, I've got... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
And I'm starting to doze off, so I'm going to see if I can...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these. Only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Huh. So they are taking that seriously. I thought that was a one-time joke. But I guess there are still four other figurines to find. I couldn't stay in that closet because I was getting too sleepy.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up?
When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
The number 3? What do you mean? I don't remember seeing the number 3.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Eight.
There is a Steam achievement that is literally nothing but 8s. The guy did say 8. Somebody said 8.
8.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. The 8th time.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly. A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should he demonstrate the... Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Where freedom meant nothing. I get it.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
You should, if you haven't watched it already, you should watch the 2014 Beauty and the Beast movie.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Oh yeah.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in,
Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
I've always liked macaws.
The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Huh. I was hoping to see if the bucket would take the blame for the nuke. But I guess the nuke is gone. Oh well. Anyway, I'm too sleepy to continue on for today. That is all, folks, and please hit the like button, and I bid you all adieu. Thank you much.